Hello everybody, this is Miss Eubank and today we are going to talk about quadratic inequalities. So we're going to do the same sort of steps that you guys did with linear inequalities. This time we're using quadratics. So we have this quadratic equation x squared minus 2x minus 15 is greater than 0. So the first thing we have to do is we have to find the roots and find the vertex and then graph it just like normal. So we could either factor or we can use the quadratic formula. This one I'm going to factor. When you factor you get x minus 5 and x plus 3. So we're going to solve these and our roots we get x equals 5 or negative 3. So we're going to graph these points. We're going to go to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to go to negative 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, then we're going to find our x coordinate for a vertex. We're going to do 5 plus and negative 3 divided by 2. And we get 1. And then when we plug 1 into our quadratic equation, solve for y, we get y equals negative 16. So our vertex is at 1, negative 16. I'm going to make these count as 5, 10, 15, 20. So then our vertex is going to be about here. Okay, so I'm going to try and draw this. That wasn't too bad. That side looks a little better. Don't forget our arrows that indicate it goes on forever. Okay, now with inequalities, we are going to test points that are inside the parabola and outside the parabola, just like you guys did with linear equations, above and below the parabola. So the first point I picked was a negative 5, which is outside of the parabola. So when you plug in negative 5 in for x, we get negative 5 squared minus 2 times negative 5 minus 15 is greater than 0. And we get 12 is greater than 0, which is indeed true. So we're going to put true here. So when the statement is true, we're going to shade the region that the point was from. So this point was from outside of the parabola. So we are going to shade the outside of the parabola. So all of this is going to be shaded. Okay, so then we're going to test a point inside of the parabola. So we're going to test 0. 0 is an easy point to pick. So when we plug 0 into our quadratic equation, 0 squared minus 2 times 0 minus 15 is greater than 0. We get that negative 15 is greater than 0, which is false. So we are not going to shade the inside of the parabola. And then that's our final graph. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, for this one, let's use the quadratic formula. So we have our A is 1, our B is 1, and C is negative 12. So we're going to do x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, we're going to split this up. Negative 1 plus the square root of 49, and x equals negative 1 minus the square root of 49, and don't forget over 2. So when we solve this, our roots are x equals 3 and negative 4. So when we graph this, we're going to come over here, go over 3, then over negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're going to find our vertex, and we can use the negative b over 2a. So we're going to have negative b over 2, which gives us a negative 1/2. Then we're going to plug in our negative 1/2 into the quadratic equation. And when we do that, we get y equals negative 12.25. So our vertex is negative 1/2 and negative 12.25. Let's go by twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay, so our vertex is going to be around here. All right, so let's try to draw this line. Oh, whoops, I passed it up. That wasn't a bad one. Getting better at these. Okay, put our arrows because it goes on forever. Okay, now we're going to test points to see where we need to shade. So let's test, let's test a negative 5. So we plug in negative 5 into the equation. We have negative 5 squared plus negative 5 minus 12 is greater than or equal to 0. This gives us 8 is greater than or equal to 0, which is true. So we're going to shade the outside of the parabola again. We're going to shade all of this. You know, the shading would go on forever since it's all of the outside of the parabola. Okay, and then we're going to test an inside point just to make sure. So we're going to test probably 0 again since it's the easiest. And when we test 0, we get 0 squared plus 0 minus 12 is greater than or equal to 12. So we get negative 12 is greater than or equal to 0, which is false. So we do not shade the inside. So that is our final graphed answer. Okay. All right, that is all that I have. And I will see you guys in class.